Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going more in depth into my craft storage and organization systems. About a month ago, I reorganized my whole space and I showed you guys how I changed everything to work better for me. If you happen to miss that video, I'll go ahead and link it up above so you can check that out. And I am really loving how the space is working for me. But I wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite things that I have implemented in this space, like literal life-changing craft organization. And I also wanted to share with you some things that I still think need some work and that could be better. So let's get right into it. All right, so the first storage solution that I absolutely love and that you guys have been talking about most in my video is my paper trimmer storage right here. Since they're so big and bulky, it was always hard to find a way to organize them that made them easy to access and use. Having them in this cookie sheet organizer keeps them separated and makes it so easy for me to grab the trimmer that I need. What I like about this one specifically is that it is metal, so it is very sturdy and holds up to the larger trimmers. I'll go ahead and link this one below for you, but you can use any sort of cookie sheet or pan organizer for this system. The second storage solution that I absolutely love is my in-progress drawers right on this side of me. I had this idea to get these acrylic trays from Target for my in-progress projects. But what was challenging about them is that even though they stacked, it was hard to get to the ones on the bottom. So I had known about the calyx inserts from IKEA for a while, and I realized that those would probably be perfect for these trays. I got some acrylic adhesive knobs from Amazon and attached those to the front to make them easy to pull in and out. And it's just the perfect system to keep all of my in-progress projects. If you're like me, you have multiple projects going on at the same time. And so a system like this is really great to be able to pull the project onto your desk that you want to work on, then put it back when you're done. The third system that has really been working for me is my Paper Person and Studio Calico kit organizer. I don't know, however you want to call that. I took a pretty big break from crafting, so I had a lot of Paper Person and Studio Calico kits that had just kind of been building up over the past couple years, and I wanted to find a way to organize them but keep them together so that way when I did want to use them, I had all of the elements that worked really well together for a project. So I had this large acrylic container from Home Goods. You can get similar ones at Target and on Amazon. I'll go ahead and link that below for you. And then I made the dividers myself using cardstock so I can separate each month's kit. And I'm easily able to go through and find elements that I want to use in other projects, but it keeps everything together for when I want to specifically use those products together. The other system that goes along with this is my Studio Calico kits. So the same with the Paper Person, I just had a buildup of Studio Calico kits. I have some documenter kits as well as traveler's notebook kits. And I needed to find a way to, again, keep them together, but also easy to access if I wanted to use specific elements. I stole this tray from my mom who didn't need it anymore. And it's actually a Pyrex casserole dish holder. It's absolutely the perfect size to hold the Studio Calico bags. They're older bags that they were using. So it keeps them all organized. Since I had so many, it fills up the whole tray and it keeps them upright and makes it so easy to flip through them. And when I want to work on a project, I can just pull a bag out and have all of the elements to work on that specific project. I don't think I will be able to find this product to link because my mom has had it for as long as I can remember. But as long as you find something that is long enough and wide enough for the Studio Calico bags, you can have a similar system if you need that. The fourth system that I am really enjoying is something that I've actually had in my craft room for a while. I just expanded on it, and that is my embellishment drawers. You'll see a lot of crafters have these acrylic drawers, so it's nothing revolutionary, but I have really loved this system, and I have since expanded on it because I needed more drawers. And what I really like about these is that you can pull each drawer out, so if you need your alphabet stickers or your chipboard or your puffy stickers, you can pull everything out and go through it. I have been toying with the idea of organizing them more in styles instead of type of embellishment, but I'm not sure if that would really work with the system that I have. For now, it's gonna stay as is, but these drawers are really, really functional, and they will stay in my craft room for a very long time. The fifth system that has been really great in my craft room is my 3x4 and 4x6 card organizer. So this is a new system to my craft room. I got the container off of scrapbook.com. In the front of the container, there's 4 divided places for 3x4 cards, and then 2 spaces in the back for 4x6 cards. Since I don't have a lot of 4x6 cards, I used the back for my loose traveler's notebook papers, and then I have my few 4x6 cards in the middle, and then in the front I have my 3x4 cards. I have a couple 2x3 stamp sets, and then some little journals that I have been crafting in. I really love this system because I didn't have a good way to store all of my extra documenter cards. Having this system and having it out on my desk has been really great, and I've actually been using these cards a lot more. So the sixth system that I am really loving is the organization for my stamps. But this comes with a little asterisk because although I am loving my organization for stamps, I do think that a portion of my stamp organization could be better, and I'll talk about that later in this video. The stamp organization that I am really loving is the organization for my 3x4 stamps. I always had my 3x4 stamps with my 4x6 stamp sets because I just didn't have a lot of stamps, and it worked out to sort them that way. But the problem was, as my 4x6 stamps grew, then I ran out of room for these smaller stamp sets. I didn't really have a ton of them, but if you're a subscriber to Studio Calico, you know that that's the main size that comes with the kits. So I needed to find a way to organize them separately and have room to grow. And I found these acrylic containers at Target, which of course I will link below, and they were the perfect size to hold the 3x4 stamp sets. The other stamp storage that's working really well is my 6x8 stamps. I have them in these IKEA bins. You can also find these bins at Container Store as well as Amazon. I've seen them at Home Goods. So they're really easy to find if you don't have an IKEA nearby. Turning them the way that I have, they are the perfect size to hold the 6x8 stamp sets. But what I love about this is that the bin itself is smaller, so it's not gonna get too heavy. 6x8 stamps are very large and can get very heavy when you have too many in a bin. So keeping them small and separated helps to make it easier to get those bins in and out of my storage shelves. The seventh system that I am really loving in my space is my paper storage. This system is not revolutionary at all. A lot of people use this system. I, for some reason, took a really long time to add this system to my craft space, and I am so annoyed with myself that I waited so long, but it is such a game changer to have your paper separated this way. So I got the same insert for the Calyx unit as I did for my in progress drawers, and I did it vertically so that way it was easy to pull the paper in and out. And man, what a game changer for being able to use my paper. I used to have my 6x8 and 6x6 paper pads in a drawer, as well as my 8.5x11 cardstock. I just didn't use them as much, or it was really hard to get to the ones that I needed. So having everything be separated and easy to grab because it's vertical and nothing stacked on top of something else, it makes it super easy to use all of my paper, and I'm definitely using more of it. And I think that that's just the most important thing about our organization systems in our craft space. We want to have systems that allow us to use our product easily. The eighth system that I have really been loving is actually a system that I've had for a long time, and I've seen other crafters use it as well, and that is my washi storage. These drawers are from Amazon. They're actually storage for sunglasses, but they are the perfect size for washi tape. So I've had this system in place for a really long time, but what changed is I decided to organize all of my washi tapes by color. And I don't know why I waited so long to do this, but once I started doing it, it really came together and it looks so nice. It's so much more pleasing to the eye to see the rainbow effect on the shelf, and it makes it so easy to find the washi tapes that I'm looking for to actually use them. As you can see, that is a theme with this organization, is that everything needs to be easy to find and easy to grab for me to be able to use, so that way I don't keep this stockpile of old stuff that I just never use because I can't get to. Okay, so let's talk about the systems that aren't working. And it's not that these systems are bad, they just could be better for the way that I use my space. The first system that could be better, I think, is my pens and markers. I have them in these containers that I found on Amazon. I've seen it a lot in other craft spaces, and I really like the system. I like how it looks. But for me, it just isn't as functional as I would like it to be. I feel like the sections are too big for some of my markers and too small for other markers. And I just feel like I can divide them up better and make them easier to grab and use. I don't know if I'll be able to fit a different system into my space, but that is something that I am looking at finding another solution for if possible. The second system that I feel like could be better is my larger embellishments, my die cuts and larger stickers. I had them kind of loose in a drawer. I did have some drawer dividers that I was using, but they were mainly loose and things were really messy. So I found these 5x7 photo holders, and using those has been really nice. I like that it's separated. It's pretty easy to grab what I need and go through them. The problem that I'm finding though is that they're tucked away in a drawer and I sometimes forget about them. I either need to find a more accessible solution or just remind myself that I have them, so that way I can use them in my projects. It's not necessarily a bad system, just one that I need to figure out how to make it work better for me. The third system that I think could be better is my ink pads. I have been crafting with just a handful of ink pads for a really long time. I think I had maybe 3 or 4 ink pads that I was using. Now I have a lot more than I had before. What I like about the Close to My Heart ink pads is that they are magnetic, so they stack really nicely. But when I'm crafting, if I need an ink pad that's in the middle of my stack, it's just a little clunky to try to get the color that I need. Close to My Heart actually has organizers for their ink pads, so I think getting something like that would be sufficient for my space. And luckily, this is an easy solution. The fifth organization system that I feel like needs to be better are my printers. I did an IKEA hack in one of my previous craft room videos, and I really love the storage system that I made for our large standard printer. It's really nice to have it tucked away. At the time we weren't using it that much, so it just made sense to have it there. But I've noticed that I've been using the printer more because I've been using more digital elements and printing out my journaling more. So I want to find a better solution where I can have the printer out and be more accessible, and then I can gain those drawers back in that IKEA Alex unit. The other printer that I feel like needs to have a better system is my small Canon selfie printer. I put this on the shelf because I had the space for it, and I had this little metal container that I got from IKEA that had a little shelf on top, so it held the printer perfectly. To get to the stuff underneath it is kind of difficult since there's the tray that sticks out of the Canon selfie, and it just makes that stuff hard to get to. And I'd like to have the selfie printer off of the tabletop and tucked away a little bit more, but still accessible because I do use it when I'm crafting. The seventh system that I feel like needs to be better is the other half of my stamp storage that I was talking about earlier in the video. I found these containers at Target and they are the perfect size to hold the 4x6 stamps. They have the right amount of room and they fit a lot of stamp sets. But the problem is because they fit so many stamp sets, the bin can get really heavy. And it doesn't have handles, so it's hard to actually grab and pull out onto my desk. Also, now that I'm getting more stamp sets, would like them to be more divided. It would be nice to have separate bins for different categories, like one bin for alpha stamps, one bin for food stamps. I don't have enough of each category to have a separate bin for each one, but it would be nice to have them a bit more divided and be able to just pull down the ones that I need. The seventh and last system that I feel like really needs some work in my craft space is my paper scraps. So I found these envelopes on scrapbook.com and I really like them. They really worked to corral my paper scraps because before the drawer was a complete mess. So just having these envelopes was an improvement on my past system, which wasn't really a system at all. So it's nice that I do have everything segmented and easy to look through. The problem is that because it's tucked away in a drawer, it's really hard for me to remember that I have the scraps to use. So I think I just need to move them around, maybe put them with my other paper storage, and I might use them more. But as it stands, that storage system just needs a little bit more work. And a bonus system that I feel like needs more work is my vinyl. And I put this as a bonus and not an actual number because I don't know if I actually need to keep my vinyl. I haven't been using it to craft as much anymore, so it's just kind of taking up space right now. I either need to figure out a better system for it if I am going to use it, or I just need to take it out of my space completely and find someone else who can use it. All right, so I think I have covered everything that I wanted to cover in this video, sharing the systems that are really working in my craft space and also the systems that I think need more work. And I think that's really important when you're organizing any space, is to organize it how you want to in the moment, but work with it and allow it to grow and change, because I think that's the most important thing about organization systems. You're not going to just put a system in place and it's going to work forever. You need to allow it to grow and change as you use your space, because you're going to use it differently and things are going to work out or they're not going to work out like you planned. So let it be adaptable and try to learn how to make the spaces better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you got some helpful organization tips from it. If you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing down below and give me a like. I appreciate your guys' support for this channel so much, and every like and new subscriber means so much to me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.